All right, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I'm going to be talking about these stocks, and honestly, these are going to be the Magnificent Seven, the Mag Seven, depending on what you know of the stocks. And we're going to be going over why you should not buy it right now. The stocks right now are at highs. We've all been there. I've been there, right? Where you hear about, you should buy the stock, you should buy the stock, and then you're stuck. You're literally stuck in a stock as it falls down. So if you would have heard or been told to buy Amazon, to buy Tesla, to buy Nvidia right now, you probably lost money. All right. We've been there. I've been there. And then you're like, hey, the stock market does not work for me because ultimately, you bought at the highs. Okay. So I'm going to analyze it. I'm going to tell you exactly kind of where I have my levels marked and why you shouldn't buy right now. Right. And areas that you can actually buy at for discounted prices, in my opinion. Okay. These are going to be large market cap stocks. Once again, if you do not remember my video last time, we talk about large market cap stocks. If you remember my last video, I talk about market caps, right? So different type of buckets when it comes to investing. These right now, especially because we're going to be dealing with the Mag 7, they're going to be large market caps and mega market caps. What that means is they're going to be how much they're worth. Okay. And then, as always, if you don't have this document, and you will like it, just message me and I'll get this over to you guys. Okay. But we're going to be focusing on mega caps. All right. And how we know if something's a mega cap, you can kind of see right here. Here is a market cap for Apple, right? $3.89 trillion. Same thing for Amazon, 2.2 million. Same thing for Tesla, 1.5 trillion, right? And so on. These are $1 trillion companies. All right. Should you buy them right now? In my opinion, no. This is just where I'm setting my markers of where to buy certain things. Like I said, I'm going to be looking at the 3 month chart of this, and then I'll scale down to a month so you can kind of see exactly what I'm talking about. All right. First and foremost, if I'm marking this up for myself on long term, right? Meaning long term, I want the most bang for my buck. I want the most return. If you would have bought, let's just even go to the monthly level. If you would have bought Meta, August 2025, you've lost money. You've actually lost about 18%, right? And that's literally how it works. Me personally, I'm trying to wait till it comes down lower. All right. So for me, I'm looking at 3 months and then I'm kind of going down. Okay. So I'm going to mark areas on these charts of where I feel like are discounts for the different positions. Right. And we get this all often. Is the stock going to come down that low? It does. Right. You usually just have to be more patient and you usually have to wait for it to get down there. Okay. So looking at Meta, for me personally, I'm going to buy Meta. I'm going to make my marks on this too. This is going to be where I'm going to be buying Meta. And let me change the color of my lines to make it a little bit easier for us to see this. Let's mark it green for money. Okay, so this is where I'm going to be buying Meta down here. All right, so anywhere under $200, all the way down to $83. You may ask and say, will it ever get down there? Yes, it can. Right. If you would have bought a few months ago, let's just mark it at these highs up here, because this is where most people probably bought. Once again, if you're looking at it already, the stock has already come down. All right. Ideally, what it's trying to do is trying to find the low. This is the most recent low that created this high, right? So for me, I'm setting alerts here, right? So if you are looking at this video and you want to see like, hey, when should I buy Meta? When is a good time to do it? I would buy it down here. And the main reason is because if you buy it in this range right here and you're patient enough, you're looking at about a 200% return. If you buy it now, right, you're only going to probably get, if that, 20%. All right. And you want to buy stocks when they're at discounts. Okay. So my rule of thumb is wait to buy Meta, right, in this basically $83 to $200 range. All right. So that's the first stock we're going to talk about. Let's go to Amazon. All right. We all love Amazon. We all shop on Amazon. Same exact thing. All right. The way I'm looking at this, you can see my alert is here, but I'm going to draw lines again just to make it a little bit easier for all of us to see. I have positions in Amazon right now, but I've also had it for some time. All right. Amazon is going to be a $2.2 trillion company. And once again, if you would have bought Amazon because someone told you to buy Amazon December, right, you would have lost money already. You would actually be down. Let's see how much this is. You'll be down about 20%, right? Once again, saying that the stock market is trash. It's a scam. It's a setup. When in actuality, it's just a matter of us being more patient. Okay. So for me, I'm not buying Amazon now. No, I actually have three places of where I'll be buying Amazon, and it'll be closer to here. Okay, why? Will I buy Amazon here? Because ultimately, if it comes into this range, even if it comes to this discounted area, I'm still now looking at about 133%. Right. Amazon the past 3 months has been falling. Right. This now, as I'm looking at this, is a 3 month candle. Right. So you can see, right, we've lost money, and Amazon is going to be falling down. So if you are looking to buy Amazon long term, I will look anywhere between that $79 to $114 range to buy Amazon. Right. That is just once again my opinion. This is where I have my alerts if I'm going to be buying this stock and holding it long term. Let's go to Tesla. Tesla's another one, right? Which I love Tesla. I actually have Tesla stocks, right? But I'm not buying it right now because once again, look where it's at. We've been falling now. If I'm going to be buying Tesla, I'm going to be in this area right here, which is going to be closer to $100, $131 to $208. And the main reason why is because if you look at Tesla now, you can see if you bought Tesla once again in December, all right, you've lost money. The stock market is bad. It doesn't work, right? So you're down 22%. When in actuality, we just need to wait for it to fall more. Okay. So for me personally, I'm waiting for this area to add more for Tesla. A better discount for Tesla, if it does get down here, would be even lower to right about here. All right. So I actually have a few different areas. Okay. So this is my first area right now is 131 to 208 for Tesla to buy it for long terms. Right. But if we can somehow, some way, miraculously, something happens with news and we can fall to right about the $70 to $60 range, this is where I'll buy more because once again, the returns are a lot higher. All right. So same thing. If I bought here in this range, I'm looking at basically 900% return. Right. Realistically speaking, Tesla's probably going to fall back to like right about here. And I mean, I'm looking at about 150 to 170% returns, which is still great for a mega market cap stock. All right. Let's look at Nvidia. All right. So Nvidia, a lot of people, I have had family ask me if now is a good time to buy Nvidia, and I'm like, no. You might as well wait till it comes down lower. So same thing with Nvidia here. I'll look at the 3 month first. You can see we already have bearish. If you would have bought Nvidia November, you would have lost money. You would be down exactly about 15% versus waiting. Okay. So for me personally, I'm waiting for Nvidia to come down lower. So me personally, I have Nvidia. I'm up a lot on Nvidia, so I don't necessarily need to add more. But those of you guys that are looking at Nvidia, this would be where I would be buying Nvidia. Okay, so anywhere between $87 to $112 is where it can come down to. All right. Um, if you don't want to be more patient, you can look at even $118, right? But you can see Nvidia hasn't really gone higher for the past couple of months. All right. And if you can wait for this area to come here to buy it, then you're looking at about 120% return, right, for Nvidia by just being patient. Okay, so this is why a lot of people fail in the stock market. We're buying at highs, right? We're buying because of news. We're buying because earnings, right, versus just waiting, right? And so I'm gonna give you guys, like I said, my buy areas and where I'm setting alerts, and you can do your research too and do your own due diligence. Okay, let's look at Google. Here's another one. So Google, I'm not buying right now. I'm waiting for Google to come down. If we go also to the last 2 months, if you would have bought Google, or you would have lost out on about 15% of your money. So that's $1,000. You're down $150. You're selling. You're panicking, versus waiting till we fall more. All right. So me personally, looking at Google, my entry areas are going to be two areas in particular. All right. So for Google, which I have this also long term already, I'm waiting to write about here. This is my first area, and then my other area is going to be down here. All right. As a long-term trader, me personally, I would love it to come down here, right? To make 200% of my money on a mega cap stock. All right. But in actuality, it may come here, right? And I make my 150%. Ultimately, when you're holding long term, as long as you don't sell, right, you'll make money, right? Especially with these companies right now. Google's not going out of business. Nvidia's not going out of business. Tesla's not going out of business. Amazon, right, the number one shopping platform, is not going out of business, right? So you need to just be more patient. And this is how you make money in the stock market, by long term and understanding when to buy, where to buy. Okay, let's look at Microsoft. I don't even own a Microsoft computer anymore or deal with any of their technology, but I still think they're an amazing company. So same exact thing here. Those of you guys that are looking to invest into Microsoft, same thing here. This is the 3 month. You can see this would have been bad. Let's just say you bought Microsoft a few months ago, October 1st. You're down literally 30% of your money versus being patient, right? Long-term investors, we wait. And so ultimately for me, as I'm looking at this, I'm waiting for it to come down to about 209. We may even come lower, right? To even down here, right? But ultimately anything under this $200 or even $130 mark is ideal. So same exact thing. I'm going to mark two areas for this one, right? So long-term, once again, if you wait till it gets down here, you're looking at about 150, 66% return on your potential money if you hold it long term. Now, if you wait for it to come lower, which is very possible, right? But it may take time. If you wait for it to come lower to right about here, what can happen is now you have a potential of 200% return. All right. Me personally, if I'm doing long term, right, I'm waiting until it gets to right about here. Okay. To buy this and hold it. All right, let's go to Meta. I think we talked about Meta already, but ultimately you can see Meta right now. This is where we've been falling. Me personally, looking at my entries for Meta, I'm looking to right about in this range right here. Anything under 250 to me is a discount. But ideally right now, the market should be falling for the next couple of weeks back down. Right, if you're looking at shorts, I would probably look at shorts for Meta. Me personally, the way I trade, I would look at shorts for Meta. Apple, for all of us Mac lovers, right here to me is the best entry that I see for long term. There's obviously deeper entries for this, but for me, this is going to be where I'm going to be waiting for to buy more Apple. Okay, so same exact thing. The past 3 months, you can see we've been free falling. A lot of the mega cap stocks are falling, right? So if you would have bought 3 months ago, you're down 15%. If you wait to about the 140, then you're looking at about 100 to 150% return if you're just patient. All right. So my entries for Apple would be 124 to 148. Is it possible for us to come lower? Absolutely. But if you're buying long term, if you buy here, hypothetically, right, you make 100%. Here's the beauty of long term. If it falls more, you don't sell. You just wait for it to get to this next area. And now you have from 100%, you have a potential of making 400% return if we come down this low. Right. And that's long term stocks right there. Right. You best invest $1,000, times that by four. Now 400% is basically 4,000. Right. If you invest $5,000, if that's what you have, 400% is 20 grand. Right. And this is how you make money passively. All right, now let's look at AVGO. Here's the last one. So AVGO for me personally, these are my areas of buying and interest for AVGO. Right in here, AVGO, same exact thing. The people that bought 2 months ago, they've lost money. You can see right there. Right, they're down almost basically 20%, almost 30%. Right. If you're patient enough and we can let AVGO to come down, right? These are my areas of buying anywhere between 130 to 190. If you buy in this range right here, you're looking at a potential of 200% return. Okay. That's how it works, right? So me personally, I'm staying away from buying these for long-term positions or options. I am actually preferring to short these, right? Meaning basically I'm anticipating that they're going to come down. If you are buying the Mag 7, Amazon, Tesla, Nvidia, Google, Microsoft, Meta, Apple, or AVGO, right now I say sit on your money, hold, wait for it to get into these areas. Hopefully you have a pen and paper and you're writing this down, but this is what I would recommend for you guys buying whenever it gets there. All right, that's it. If you guys have any questions about any other markets or stocks, definitely let me know. Like I said, if you guys don't have this document and you would like this document just for more of the education of understanding small caps, mid caps, large cap, and also mega caps, and some of the pros and cons of stocks and options and things like that when buying them, definitely let me know. Drop a comment, and I would definitely send this over to you guys. Other than that, see you guys in the next video, and hopefully this helps you make money. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.